Hello Japan, how are you doing? Are you enjoying the conference? Cool, I'm enjoying it too. Well, I am very excited to be here. This is my first time in Japan. Yesterday I've been working in Shibuya and I was amazed with the people, with the culture, and also the food. And today I am amazed with the community you have. Well, today I'm going to talk about black holes and angular interceptors. I came all the way from Cochabamba, Bolivia, my hometown, to be here and share my thoughts with the community. It was a very long trip, but I am enjoying it so far. And also, I am a Google developer expert for Angular and web technologies. I am the founder and organizer of Angular Bolivia community, which is the organizer of NG Bolivia conference. And also, I consider myself as an open source enthusiast. I love the JavaScript technologies, of course, TypeScript. I love to do photography and astrophotography too. But let's talk about what is a black hole. What I think is most of you saw the very first picture of a black hole that has been released some weeks ago, right? Who was able to see that picture? Raise your hand. Did you see the very first picture of a black hole? No? Well, to understand what it is, think of a star at least 10 times more massive than the sun. Yeah? It's squeezed into a sphere approximately the diameter of Tokyo City. The result is a mysterious object with a gravitational field so strong that nothing, not even the light, can escape. In order to understand this concept better, let's talk about an event that happened some years ago. In March 2011, NASA's Swift satellite discovered intense X-ray flares thought to be caused by a black hole devouring a star, as you can see in this animation. That's really cool, right? Do you think? Yeah, but let's talk about angular interceptors now. Actually, HTTP interceptors is a major feature of the Angular framework. And they provide a way to inspect and transform HTTP requests from the application to the server. And of course, we can do the same with the HTTP responses. Let's suppose we have an Angular application that needs to send an access token to the backend. A common solution is send that access token with every HTTP request, right? Yeah, we can do that. But we are going to duplicate code, and perhaps it is not the best solution. Another way to solve that is define a black hole interceptor just in the middle so that we can catch all outgoing requests from the application. And then we can add that access token to all of them. To do that, we can implement our Authentication Service, which is a TypeScript class that is going to provide a way to set and get the access token for the application. The second step will be define our black hole interceptor, which is an Angular service that needs to implement HTTP interceptor interface, and that means we are going to define our intercept function. In this function, we can create a clone of the original HTTP request, and then we can add the access token to it. In this way, we are going to avoid duplicate code and we'll define this logic in only one place. And as a good practice, we can define another TypeScript file with an HTTP interceptor providers array with our first interceptor, which is Auth Service, as I showed you before. And then we can use it as part of the application module. In this way, we can add more than Angular interceptors in the future without having to update the application module again. If we are going to run this code, we'll see that every HTTP request from the application is going to be caught by our black hole interceptor. And this Angular service is going to return the same HTTP request plus the authorization header, as you can see in this animation. And what do you think? That worked, right? And also, we can think in other use cases for Angular interceptors. Of course, besides of using it to add an access token, we can use them to create other custom headers for our HTTP request. For example, we can create a login service that is going to catch all HTTP errors, and then we can send it through another login service to the cloud or something else. And also we can cache some data from the server. We can create a loader service in order to display a progress indicator or something like that while an HTTP request is in progress. And also we can display general notifications using HTTP interceptors. What I mean is we can display, for example, general messages like this object has been created successfully if we receive 201 as HTTP code, right? And also we can manage our errors using an interceptor, and of course you can think in your own use case. Well, here you can find some useful resources about this topic. On the first link, you will find the slides of this talk. And also I defined an Angular project where you can find the HTTP interceptors in action on my GitHub repository. And of course, you can take a look on the official Angular guide. And there is an interesting section about this, which is intercepting requests and responses. You can take a look on that. And of course, I'll be sharing some useful resources about this talk in my Twitter account. You can follow me there. I hope you enjoyed this talk. Arigato. Thank you very much.